In the Ice Age, how much taxes did people pay?
Do you know what we're here for?
Breakdown. What now? Break now. What? Help! I'm being repressed!
That's too much, man!
Oh, it never occurred to me.
Interesting.
Just crazy enough to work.
Yeah.
That's hot.
Don't be creepy. Don't be creepy. Don't be creepy.
Close it up, just like my wife's vagina.
I mean, this woman is dangerous, ladies and gentlemen.
Consequences. see that you know your judo well. It's science. Help! Help! I'm being repressed!
He looks good. He looks good. He looks good.
That's hot.
Right now.
Your name, please?
A fucking bitch.
Mr. Morelli.
Well, it's good to see you folks once again. Looks like it's time for us to look into the doom, as we always do. Thankfully, we have each other. Buckle up those seatbelts, space fans. Time for a little journey through the unknown. It's a crazy world we live out there, folks. I suppose we'll start in the same place we always do. The United States. Gun violence. This one's from 14 hours ago. ABC 13 Houston. Where guns are supposedly making people safer. Just not in this case. Or most of the other cases we've looked at. This is a story involving a Kingwood man charged with killing a woman and then opening fire on police.
Second Amendment.
Man charged in the murder of a woman in a Kingwood home has a criminal history involving violence. Byron Hall is charged with killing Taylor Ben and then opening fire on responding officers Sunday. NBC 13's Tom Abrams has more about the suspect and joins us live. Tom?
Hey, Eric, police still have not released what the potential motive would be for the violence that unfolded in Kingwood yesterday, but we do know, as you mentioned, that the suspect has a criminal past. The rental home on Babbling Creek Drive is boarded up after the chaotic and deadly scene that played out Sunday when police responded to reports of gunfire. Investigators tell us 29-year-old Byron Keith Hall was lying in wait and opened fire.
The officer's vehicle sustained approximately 7 shots. The officers report it was from multiple calibers. We found pistol and short barrel rifles on the scene. These are photographs of some of those weapons. Christian Jorgen. Short barrel rifles on the scene. These are photos.
Right. So that's what we need on our streets right there. Right? Okay.
Rid of the Second Amendment.
All right, let's move on. We know what the United States is like. Nothing's changed, folks. Guns are everywhere, and they are basically doing what they're built for. Okay. Okay, let's move on to this. This is from Democracy Now! From 11 hours ago. I think this is their wrap-up on Asian American History Month. I think we briefly actually talked about this guy, but this is a bit more of an in-depth look. Corky Lee's Asian America. Chinese American legend spent 50 years seeking photographic justice.
This news is funded by viewers like you. Please support our work at democracynow.org/give. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman with Juan Gonzalez. This is Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Month, the month of May. We spend the rest of the hour with the author of a new book that profiles the renowned photographer Corky Lee, who documented the lives and struggles of the Asian American community in his work over the span of half a century. Lee was recently profiled in a documentary called Dear Corky by the filmmaker Curtis Chin, which was featured on PBS American Masters. This is an excerpt that begins with Corky Lee describing some of his photographs.
This was from arguably the largest protest by Chinese Americans in New York City. There's like 20,000 that came out, and it had to do with an incident of police brutality. These two guys were in school together, and they were the tallest guys, and every time that the Chinese kids would get picked on and bullied, that they would stand up for them. But the key thing among all this whole thing is this black kid right in the middle, and he's got this grin on his face or smile. And he just can't believe that Chinese are protesting police brutality, because that's something that happens in the black community and the Hispanic community all the time. This is from the 1982 when the union, ILGW, the International Lady Garment Workers Union, called for a strike in Columbus Park and 15,000 garment workers. This has to be the largest labor protest in Chinatown ever. And this is a candlelight vigil. This woman is lighting candles for a 9/11 vigil that takes place annually in Chatham Square. There are 2 streets that are named after Chinese who died.
My photography connects me to people. You can be alone but not be lonely, I think. I started to lose sleep after my wife passed away.
At the time, I had worked out something with the Museum of Chinese Americas back in 2001, and they wanted me to do an exhibit of my photography. So actually, when they heard that my wife was in hospice care, and particularly when she passed, they called me up and asked me if they should postpone the exhibit a solo exhibit. And I said, okay, fine. Let me go ahead. Basically...
Sorry. God. Caught up in listening to his story, but hold on. This isn't actually the part that I wanted us to look at as much. The beginning was good to get us talking about it, but hold on. Let me get us to a different spot. Yeah, this seems
Masters. For more on the great photographer, we're joined by Mei Nai, professor of Asian American Studies and professor of history at Columbia University, co-editor of the new book, Corky Lee's Asian America, 50 Years of Photographic Justice. Welcome to Democracy Now!, Professor Nai. What a beautiful book, and not to mention life. Corky Lee died of COVID in 2021 at the age of 73, was born in 1947. Talk about what you mean by photographic justice and the breadth of Corky's life.
Well, first, thank you for having me, Amy. It's a pleasure to be here. Corky coined the term, I think, photographic justice to encapsulate what his life's mission was. He was a photographer, but he was an activist photographer, a social photographer, and he often said his aim in life was to break stereotypes of Asian Americans one photograph at a time. He wanted to make Asian Americans visible when we had been invisible, erased from American history. He wanted to show that we were real people with real concerns, and that we had a long struggle, a long history of struggle for social justice and racial equality.
And May, I wanted to ask you, this is really an epic book. When you first sent me a copy several months ago, I was really blown away because I had met Corky more than 50 years ago. And could you talk a little bit about his activist origins? And most people are not aware that there were revolutionary organizations of Asian Americans in this country back in the 60s and 70s, groups like Ewart Kuhn in New York and San Francisco, Yellow Seeds in Philadelphia, and Corky comes out of that experience?
Absolutely. I mean, that's where I first met Corky, was in Chinatown in the early 1970s. We were both young radicals making good trouble, you know, in the community. Corky was born in Queens, and he grew up in Queens, the son of immigrant parents who ran a hand laundry. He went to Queens College when there were very few Asian students there. And he goes to Chinatown in 1969 when he resisted the draft. He declared himself a conscientious objector. He opposed the Vietnam War. And he was sent to be a tenant organizer for a community organization in New York's Chinatown. And he started to take photographs of the bad conditions in the tenements. And then this was a time when the Asian American movement was bursting onto the scene. So Corky got swept up in all of that, like many of us did.
Okay. I just thought that since Asian American History Month is wrapping up, that we would watch that. That just came out from Democracy Now! Earlier today. Yeah, and I just think it's important for us to talk about the contributions of Asian Americans and all different sort of people in America, as we are technically one group, regardless of our distinctions. Okay, what next? Oh, good to see everybody showing up here. Who have I missed so far? Stephen K, Donald James, AC, Del Sol Verde, Jules T. Ooh, B-Cat. B-Cat's here. Okay, Bob Treesh. The second. Number 2. You're the number 1 Treesh in my heart, Bob. Okay, let's let's go on to this. Let's talk a little bit about protests in the United States. I figured we'd break up protest stuff today. This is from 6 hours ago, and actually not just the United States, America. Because we're also going to talk about it in Canada. First, here, let's look at this from 6 hours ago. This is from CBC News, where University of Toronto faculty members are criticizing the choices of U of T's, what do you call it, management, essentially, by having the campus removed. I mean, they asked for, what was it, like 3 injunctions from the city. I think the last one finally stuck or something like that. I don't, but essentially they're trying to still have the campus removed. I'm not actually sure on the legality of it. I know they asked for it. I can't remember, I can't say for sure whether or not it was approved by the court in Toronto. But according to this faculty member, quote unquote, you'll have to go through us first.
Some faculty members at the University of Toronto are speaking out against the administration's approach toward the pro-Palestinian protests at the school. The university filed an injunction request yesterday after protesters defied a university-imposed deadline to leave. The motion asks the court to authorize police to remove the encampment, which was set up nearly a month ago. The CBC's Sarah Galashan is following the latest developments on this story and elsewhere. So, Sarah, what are you hearing from some of the faculty members?
Yeah, Andrew, well, there was a group that gathered. They held a little press conference outside the University of Toronto. This group of faculty and staff, in some cases, they were dressed in academic regalia.
Hold on, I'm just going to move us forward so we can actually hear this speech. There we go.
We say to our administration, if you decide to move against the students, you'll have to go through us first.
Based.
We also implore our administration to remember that we are U of T. The administration is not the university. You are the custodians of our precious mission, and you are failing the U of T community. There is still time, however, to do the right thing.
Now, in the last...
Okay, this is the response from the president of the University of Toronto. Yesterday, we met again with students representing those in the encampment on the St. George campus. Our next meeting is on Wednesday. We continue with discussions to reach a negotiated end to the unauthorized encampment. Oh, it's
illegal.
Okay, whatever.
Yesterday, we met again with students.
Wait, hold on. I think there's a second piece of this, right? Yeah. We also continue to pursue legal action to restore the use of King's College Circle to the entire university community. Jesus Christ. Clutch your pearls some more, Merrick Gertler, if that is your name. Oh, more people showing up. Vincent Morales and Geo Dragon. Good to see you as well. Okay, now let's look at a different protest. South in LA, where UCLA student workers are joining strike to demand an amnesty for pro-Palestinian protesters.
Demanding Palestinian liberation.
It's day one of our strike at UCLA. Our strike is a response to the university's gross mishandling of the peaceful protests that have taken place on our campus and that have been met with nothing but violence.
UCLA students, faculty, and staff experienced severe head lacerations, facial fractures, brain hemorrhages.
What happened here was inexcusable. It's the worst crisis in U.S. higher education since Kent State in 1970. For the graduate students here, many of them who are in the encampment, this is a very basic issue of workplace safety and workplace expression. We have the right to peacefully protest. And we also have the right to be able to do our jobs without worrying about whether outside agitators will throw things at us and whether police will come and fire rubber bullets at us.
We need some negotiation. We need real.
So true. so true. Okay. It's just good to see the UAW in force here, showing solidarity with the pro-Palestinian protesters. Thought was beautiful to see. Okay. Let us continue. Okay, first, I would like to look at this. Mostly because it is utterly ridiculous, and this guy is wild. Okay, well, I don't know if it's entirely wild, but his outrage for this subject it knows no bounds, okay? And now, I'll give it to him, this is incredibly serious, especially the way he's framing it.
I don't want reality.
Okay, just kidding, I'm being a little sarcastic. However, this is Congressman Eric Burleson. I believe he is a Republican from... Wait a second, hold on, now I gotta look this up. Delaware? No, I gotta look it up. Damn you, Eric. Missouri. Yes, Missouri, 7th District. It's a bit far from Delaware, I'm sorry. Okay. Here's Eric Burleson, Republican from Missouri, grilling the... I don't know who Granholm is. I don't know who that is or what that means. But grilling her on light bulb regulations. Oh, God, not regulations. Oh.
Illegal.
Oh, God.
Chair, now recognize Mr. Burleson from Missouri.
Thank you, Secretary Granholm. We have talked in this hearing about the overregulation of gas stoves, the washers, dryers, refrigerators. But I wanted to kind of dive in.
This guy's complaints about regulations are very important, but first we have to give you a support character because we're at 11. 3. Who's 3? 1, 2, 3. That's going to be a Captain Planet right off the bat. Okay. Here we go on this wild journey here.
To the subject of light bulbs.
Oh, God. Not light bulbs.
In July of last year, the Department of Energy made manufacturing or selling most incandescent light bulbs illegal.
God. Oh, illegal.
In the U.S., violators who manufacture an illicit light bulb are charged a penalty of $542 per.
Now, I'm pretty sure this guy just made this up, but I could be wrong.
Bulb.
I've never heard of this. Anyone ever being.
I'm sorry, can you say that one more time?
Yeah, the fine for an illicit bulb is $542 per bulb.
Yeah, so you say.
You're shaking your head.
Never heard of that being enforced, pal.
You might want to look into that.
Oh yeah, we'll all do that.
To add insult, in April 12 of this year, April 12th, sorry, you released a new rule for the LED light bulbs. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Now, and even your agency estimates that this new rule will cause the price of LED bulbs to nearly double. Are you aware of that?
I think that's an incorrect statement.
It is an incorrect statement. This guy is making shit up over here. He's just making up random numbers. He's picked something. He's reverse engineered this causing light bulb prices to go up. That is not the cause. If anything, it's just corporate greed. Now, what's fascinating to me is he's not here complaining about how who owns Philips and what is it, GE? I'm trying to think who are the main manufacturers of light bulbs. I think it's them. You don't hear him complaining about the fact that they are literally holding on to patents that make light bulbs, incandescent ones, and I believe, I think 1,000 times more longer lasting. I don't know the exact number, but I believe it's called like the Dubai bulb or something like that, which is just the non-shitty version of light bulb technology that none of us have ever been given in the United States in order to continue the consumer capitalist worship of light bulb purchasing. We need to be in the store buying light bulbs at a certain frequency or the entire system will implode. That's a fact.
I don't want reality.
Anyway, hold on. I want to hear what he says later. Where I think it's like right here. He says something real extra stupid. I'm sorry here.
It's illegal to manufacture I would think that you
They'll
would
be
want
saving
to
money with an LED bulb, though. They will be saving money, significant amounts of money.
Well, and I think that the question is, do you think you think the American consumer is dumb?
Absolutely not.
So
I'll be honest. I don't know. Missouri, at least certain sectors of the American consumer are dumb. I would say the 7th District of Missouri comes to mind. I don't know why specific. Oh, right, because they elected you as a representative.
You think the American consumer is dumb?
Absolutely not.
So if someone's buying an incandescent bulb and choosing to do that over an LED bulb, are they incompetent?
Of course not. Of course not. But we all know that industry can
Hold on.
have
go further.
very persuasive advertising.
Anyway, we're not going to listen to this whole thing. I was just trying to get us to a spot. I can't remember where the fuck it is. But essentially, I think he wraps up this whole thing by saying this is that by making incandescent light bulbs, not the technology of choice, making LED light bulbs the thing, right, is somehow just a crackdown by the government, right? And it's taking away consumers' choices. Now, I looked it up, and Eric Burleson wrote an abortion-related bill in 2022. I think he actually he didn't just sponsor this bill, he wrote it himself. So speaking about choice, Eric Burleson wrote Bill 667, which would prohibit any public funds from ever being used in facilities that perform abortions. You know what that does? That takes away people's choices, and I won't have it. Okay. Let's move on. Dude's an idiot. I don't even know how I wound up on that video, but I was like, good God, this guy's just wildly focused on the wrong stuff. Granted, he's a Republican. What can you expect? But Jesus Christ. This guy's getting paid taxpayer dollars to do what he's doing. It's wild. Okay. What am I gonna do? Alright, let's look at this from 6 hours ago from an individual by the name of Senator Bernie Sanders. And according to him, and I would say myself and probably many others in chat, there has been a massive redistribution of wealth in America. But it's gone in the wrong direction.
I don't want reality.
What you're not going to see too much on TV or here in the halls of Congress, over the last 50 years, there has been a massive redistribution of wealth in America. I always get a kick because every now and then somebody jumps up and attacks Bernie Sanders for trying to redistribute wealth in America. Well, I am trying to do that. But the fact is that over the last 50 years, wealth has been redistributed, but in the wrong direction. According to a study done by the RAND Corporation, not exactly a socialist operation, since 1975, over $50 trillion in wealth has been redistributed from the bottom 90% to the top 1%, primarily because corporations are spending a growing percentage of their profits on stock buybacks and dividends. Think about that. And it's important that we understand the anger that exists out there. And that is that working people...
Oh, I think it's the audio. I just realized that... Yeah, somebody is like tapping something in this audio. It's totally fucking with me.
Work their whole lives, falling further behind. No progress in 50 years. People are worried that their kids will actually have a lower standard of living than they do. It's not on TV. It's not discussed in the halls of Congress. Happens to be the reality. And as I think all of you know, the trend that we're seeing in America is, in fact, unfortunately, a global trend. Since 2020, while nearly 5 billion people throughout the world have become poorer, the 5 richest men on the planet more than doubled their wealth and are now worth some $870 billion.
Yeah. Yep. 5 billion people can all become poor just for just a few people to get way fucking richer. What a great society we put together. Why are we talking about grilling fruit? Watermelon? Why would you put watermelon? Why would you do this? That sounds horrible. I've never heard of anybody doing that ever. Okay. While we're talking about massive redistribution of wealth in America, I figured we'd talk about this. Some of the numbers I heard here were shocking, to be quite frank. Let's look at this. This is from 9 hours ago from Al Jazeera English. Oh God, we're not gonna have time to watch this whole thing. Yeah, I forgot about how long this was. This is about gambling. The big gamble. The world of online sports betting in the United States.
It's Friday night at Madison Square Garden, one of the world's most famous sports arenas. The New York Knicks have a game tonight, and basketball fans are excited, but for a different reason than you might think.
Do a lot of your friends sports gamble? Is it common? Yeah. What do you guys bet on?
Anything.
Wait, what all bets do you have
Anything.
tonight?
Wow.
I
got Knicks money line, of course.
Knicks money line.
You got
What
roasted
else?
for 30 plus.
Ever since I started, I haven't stopped. I mean, you could call it addiction, but I think it's just dedication. Yeah.
It's just
It's starting to feel like the national pastime in America is no longer sports themselves.
I love that. All the best crackheads say that. It's not an addiction. This is dedication.
Bets on the games.
They have normalized gambling for a generation of young people. That today, to watch a sporting event, you're not a sports fan anymore unless you're gambling on the game.
There was a national ban on sports gambling until the Supreme Court overturned it in 2018. It's now legal in most of the country. As the industry expands, it's easier than ever to place bets. 30 states now allow people to sports bet on their phones.
If money is the substance that problem gamblers abuse, the mobile phone is basically the means of getting high. We are seeing the kinds of sports betting now that's not just unprecedented in American history, it's unprecedented in the world.
I got friends that I would say are avid gamblers, you know what I mean? And I don't know why some of them are, because some of them I'm like, bro, you lose every time.
Why do you think they keep doing it?
It's obviously addictive. Like it's just why we scroll on our phones.
If you live within 50 miles of a casino, you're much more likely to become addicted. With online gambling and it going onto phones, that 50 miles becomes for all of us 5 inches.
You have people who literally will gamble on their phones or on their computers.
Okay, hold on. I'm not gonna watch this whole thing, of course, because it's 30 minutes long. I say we start it back up around. Oh God. Yeah, this woman's story is fucking harrowing. This shit is sad.
Downloaded DraftKings. Were you looking to gamble on sports?
No more on the online casino. It felt real. There were actual live dealers and other people playing that were on the chat. You couldn't see them, but they were on the chat, so it mimicked more of a social experience.
It wasn't long before she started wagering serious money.
God.
Some days I would deposit $1,000, $2,000. So if you do the math, that adds up quickly.
She racked up $80,000 in credit card debt.
No kidding.
Took out a loan from her retirement account and had to get a second mortgage.
Especially when you're adding it from your credit cards. I mean, oh my God. Paying 20+% to gamble $1,000 a shot. I mean, oh my God. It is just so wildly irresponsible. But I mean, this is what it allows for, is people to just completely just like ruin their lives in such a short fucking time.
her house.
It's
She
in your
says she
hand
lost
all
more
the
than
time.
$400,000 gambling across several different apps.
It just didn't feel as real as putting actual cash on a table or actual cash into a machine. It just felt it felt like a game.
Over the next 6 years, the American people are on course to lose more than $1 trillion of personal wealth to commercialized gambling.
And yet, the momentum to legalize online gambling is speeding across the country, unabated state by state.
Well, the day is finally here. Sports betting is launching in North Carolina.
See, RJ just hit a 3.
We came to North Carolina in March, just days after the state legalized online sports gambling.
Man. Is it just me, or do these people look just crazy young to all be gambling? Like, what the fuck happened? What is going on?
Dude, coach is on the floor. What?
And just in time for one of America's most gambled on sporting events.
March Madness, man, you can't beat it. It's just electric the whole month.
The country will tune into more than 130 college basketball games over the next 3 weeks. Americans are expected to legally gamble nearly $3 billion throughout the tournament.
Oh, I thought he was about to yam it. I thought.
Just this one tournament, $3 billion. And the rest, there's a lot more numbers, so hold on. Let me just move this a little bit. Like I said, we can't talk about the whole goddamn thing, but shit is wild. Shit. Why do you have to be so long? I guess. Yeah, right here is probably a good time.
It definitely makes me a lot more inclined if I do it from like my phone or laptop than like physically going somewhere to place the bet.
How many times have you actually gone and placed a sports bet somewhere?
Maybe never.
As online sports gambling becomes more mainstream, there's fear of a growing addiction crisis. Calls to gambling helplines have...
That's a feature. Easier to manipulate. I don't know what you're referring to, but I feel like that can be said about practically the entire system of online sports betting, right? It's all meant to
dozens of
keep
people who are in
you
recovery
going.
for gambling addiction. Most of them didn't want to speak about it on camera.
My whole life is on my phone. I had Instagram and Facebook when I was 13. I got Snapchat right around the same time.
We spoke to one young man who's 23.
Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to at least hit there so we can be aware of the fact of just how young the people that are being affected by this, and their stories are tough too, but we can't cover this whole thing. Start right here again.
Online gambling companies collect data on users to track who they bet on, when they bet, and a host of other personal details.
The tracking of your intimate data, even your health data, your menstrual cycle data, your financial data. So many things that happen on your phone are visible to these companies.
Hey guys, ESPN.
It's wild. Can you imagine, like, I don't know, like telling, just like this is like a hypothetical, right? But just say you even knew a loan shark. Can you imagine, like, I don't know, going to a loan shark and telling them when your next period is? I mean, what the fuck? You don't even have to, because they have all your data on your phone. It's all just so easy for them to access your personal information. It's just wild.
Is here finally a sports book from your favorite sports brand.
Algorithms and even artificial intelligence are used to make the apps very appealing, very sticky, very addicting.
This is a laboratory for experimenting with people and their behavior.
Sports gambling operators raked in nearly $11 billion in 2023, but they still see room to grow in the iGaming space. iGaming is an...
Wait, hold on. I have to hear that number again.
Operators raked in nearly $11 billion in 2023, but they still see room to grow in the iGaming space. iGaming is an industry euphemism for online casino gambling like roulette or slot machines. On a recent earnings call, the CEO of DraftKings referred to it as an unlocked gem for the company.
I think a lot of people are sort of sleeping on it a little bit, and maybe are just focused on how big the sports side can be and not realizing the iGaming side can make the business even larger.
Sports gambling gets people in the door, right? And while they make money from it, where they make the most money is getting you to transition over to the online casino portion of it.
Exactly. So those sportsbooks apps can be easily transformed into also including every sort of possible digital casino game you could come up with, right? Roulette, you know, slots are really easy to simulate, video poker, blackjack, all these sorts of things. Just being completely accessible. You don't have to go to the casino anymore. Hell, I mean, I don't even know how good their verification processes are, or if they can actually manage to keep, I don't know, kids from accessing, like literal people under 18 from accessing these apps. I have a lot of questions about this sort of stuff, and it is insidious. And I don't remember exactly where they said it, but there's like, I think they took in, like, I think from Pennsylvania alone, over $1 billion was lost by Pennsylvania residents on, I think it was like FanDuel or maybe it was all of them combined. I can't remember. It honestly doesn't even matter when you just start doing the math on it. I mean, holy shit. How many people are even in Pennsylvania? I forgot. 12.9 million. So what is that? Like, that's like, if you were to say, because that's including kids, good God, it's like taking, I think, like $100. They said $11 billion a year in profits, but that's after operating expenses and whatever else. We're just saying that in Pennsylvania specifically, I believe, at least I think that's what they were saying, unless somehow I missed it, because I think that they're talking about two different numbers right now. But it's just wild, right? It's basically taking, I think, what is that? It's like $100 out of the pocket of every single person, including babies, in Pennsylvania, and they can't all have the app, right? So you got to think, like, all right, how many people is that actually, and how much money are we talking about per person? It must be close to like $1,000, or honestly, I don't know. I'd have to look up like how much market saturation they have in the state. That's too much effort. You get what I'm saying? This shit is wild. All right, just a little bit more, just because this piece of it is unbelievable. Okay, there it is. Oh, God.
Mom, like, this is coming from at the time he was 12.
Actually, hold on. Let me go back further.
Chase your losses. You as a gambling operator, like, that should be an immediate check. Like, hey, we need to stop this. This is a person we shouldn't be marketing to.
DraftKings took the opposite approach and assigned her a VIP host to keep her in action.
They would provide incentives for me and make sure that I'm having a good experience online. There would be different things like tickets to Steelers games.
Think about a woman, a single mom, and she's young. And all of a sudden, she's got a VIP person reaching out to her, and she's got someone giving her football tickets. She's thinking, I finally made it. Like, there's a hook to that, and there's a big price to that as well.
And the fact that they're calculating that psychological effect on someone, in this case, a single mom, I mean, it's just so... It sounds like something that should be fucking illegal. No, am I? I mean, come on.
At the game, her son noticed that something wasn't right.
And I told him, oh, it's from work. And he said, I didn't see any of your coworkers here. And I heard a lot of people talking about gambling and DraftKings. He's like, did you get this because you use the DraftKings app, Mom? Like, this is coming from at the time he was 12. Yeah.
A smart kid.
So what'd you tell him?
I was completely honest with him, and I said yes, and Mommy's going to stop using that app.
Here's the thing. This is about to get worse. At least I think this is the part where they start doing this, so honestly, buckle in.
But she couldn't stop. By this point, she was chasing more than just her losses.
I just couldn't stop placing the bet for that anticipation, for that rush.
When she came up short one month on her mortgage, she turned to her DraftKings VIP host for help.
There was a time where I emailed him and said, hey, does DraftKings ever give out loans? Because I'm having a...
This is so heartbreaking. Oh, God. Imagine being at that place where you have no one else to turn to. You have no money. You're racked up who knows exactly how much in credit card debt, but it sounds like over 6 figures at some point, potentially. With a kid, no one to help support you, and you the only person you have to turn to is a goddamn VIP agent at a sports book. And wait, we're going back 5 seconds because this really does get just fucked.
Emailed him and said, hey, does DraftKings ever give out loans? Because I'm having a hard time paying my mortgage this month. He said no. And then he wrote back and said, do you have a problem gambling? And I said, no, just asking.
We took her emails to a professor at New York University. Natasha Scholl is the author of Addiction by Design and an expert in how the gambling industry reels in their clients.
So look at what she asked. Does DraftKings ever give
small loans? This is really concerning because she's voicing in her email that she's short on her mortgage, also saying probably this means I need to quit gambling. And it does seem like the first response is taking that seriously, asking if she's playing within her means budget. But then when she sends back this one-liner, yes, I'm playing within my means. Okay, perfect. You know, let's give you $250, click to claim to get you.
This is disgusting.
Illegal.
Like, what? A woman tells you she can't pay her mortgage. You have that on her. You probably know she has a kid, isn't married, probably know her income. I mean, and you would just, you know, just give her money to keep her in the building, keep spending, getting that rush. And it is just, it's not even a building, right? It's just the phone. It's just a phone. She can do it from literally anywhere. And it's just this insidious. And honestly, the more I look into it, the more I'm disgusted. And the fact is, I've used sports betting apps. I know how addictive they can be. I haven't had troubles like that with it, but I mean, it's just, you know, it's I know what it can be like. It's fun, but it's also incredibly dangerous. You can lose your money very quickly. All it takes is some guy misses a rebound or something, right? It's like you know, that is not how you should be living your life day to day, unless you're I don't know, a billionaire, you know, or I don't know. I'm trying to think of any other good reasons but it's like the fact that they allowed it. It's basically illegal in all 50 states, if I'm not mistaken, and have allowed them to use algorithms and to have these sorts of shady fucking practices going on. I had no idea that they were doing stuff like that to people, and it's just, it makes me so sad to think about that. And the fact is, it goes on, and this woman literally, at one point, her luck turns, and she winds up making like 6 figures, and then continues betting it. Because it's just got a fucking hold of her psyche. She just needed to keep doing it. She still put herself in ruins, and it's fucking... Somebody should have cut her off. But of course they're not going to. It's their business model not to cut her off. Make sure they get that money back, right? You demand a sec? Of course you do. And you deserve it. So hold on a second. I'm going to stop monologuing. We're going to move on to the next. Taking so goddamn long on this thing. Oh, another 3. 4. Okay. Just made me mad. Doing that to a single mom. I'm not here to say that she had completely zero responsibility at all, but what I'm saying is that I just don't think it should have been an option. Honestly, I'm starting to really question the what do you call it? Not relevance, but the shit. Whatever. All right, let's go on to this next thing. All right, this is from 6 hours ago. Wait, how far am I in the stream? 58 minutes. Oh, son of a bitch. Oh God, what have I done? How are we this far in? Who is in charge of the timing of this stream? Is it me?
I don't want reality.
Oh God. Okay, let's go on. This is this one's going to, what do you call it? It's going to segue us into the next section, ecological and environmental related stuff. It's from 10 hours ago, where 60 confirmed cases of Lyme disease in Ontario this year, according to provincial data. Come on. Okay, there we go. Do it.
If you're planning to spend time this summer in the great outdoors, you have to keep in mind tick season is here. It's arrived early in many parts of the country, and with ticks, we're also seeing tick-borne illnesses. Climate change, that is believed to be behind exploding populations of ticks, and federal data is showing a 1,000% increase in tick-borne illnesses over the past decade. This is a conversation we've had on a couple of occasions already with Dr. Isaac Bogosh, but it's certainly timely again. So he's back with us, our infectious diseases specialist from Toronto. Good morning.
I'm sorry, I rolled the dice. What was it, 4? 4. That's Jessica Fletcher. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I got distracted. And thank you for keeping me on track here.
Welcome back, Dr. Bogosh.
Great to see you, Heather.
You've been tweeting about this for weeks. I noticed May the 3rd, it's tick season. How's it looking so far? What's your sense of what kind of tick season we're in for?
Didn't you just say it's bad?
I think we're going to see year after year after year. Unfortunately, we'll likely see more and more cases of Lyme, and not just Lyme, but other tick-transmitted illnesses, as we have, sadly, shorter and less cold winters in Canada. We're seeing ticks survive and thrive at more northern latitudes. They're spreading throughout the country. They have the capability to transmit Lyme and other infections. I think we have to obviously do a bit better to inform the general public that these infections are out there, so that they know what to do if they have a tick and when to seek care. And also, from a medical education standpoint, really working with primary health care and other healthcare providers to ensure that they're aware that there's Lyme and other tick-transmitted illnesses, and inform people how to diagnose it, how to.
Okay. Just wanted to not only, illuminate this fact for just educational purposes, but also for, safety's sake. Because the fact is I think we have a great number of people in, at least in Canada, that are in this chat. At least enough people that I feel like all of them should watch out for ticks. That's all I'm saying. But it's not just Canada, right? Ticks, I believe, exist through most of North America, and with the hotter weather and everything else, once again, climate change strikes, and yeah, we got another issue to worry about. You found a tick on your dashboard the other day. Oh, that's good. That's inspiring. Yeah, now I feel good. Now I feel good inside. Oh, God. That's horrifying. All right. Now let's... Oh, we're not going. Oh, that's funny. I forgot. Oh, God. This is wild. Okay. So, we're actually going to stay in Canada. And we're going to talk about something that makes nearly 0 sense. This is not the sort of thing that happens every day. Now, I think recently we talked about how, was it Wisconsin that had, or was it Michigan had their first ever historically recorded tornado? Well, I'm not sure about whether or not this is their very first, but it's the first I've ever heard of. And this is, yeah, let's look at this video where a tornado touched down in southwestern Quebec. That's right, Quebec. It's in Canada. I don't know if you're familiar. Nowhere near the Midwest, I would point out.
It's a day of cleanup and recovery in parts of southwestern Quebec after a tornado swept through a rural community.
You see it? It's going north.
Environment Canada has confirmed at least one tornado touched down near Rigaud, Quebec, near the Ontario border late yesterday afternoon. No one was hurt, but it did knock out power and damage several homes. Officials in Rigaud say the twister damaged 4 homes, ripping the roof right off of this one. Barns and silos were also hit. CBC's Kwabina Oduro is at the scene and spoke with the homeowners.
As you can see, the damage is not as widespread as what we've been seeing in the Midwest, not even close. But I just found it somewhat surprising that there would be a tornado suddenly in Quebec, which is, if I'm not mistaken, it's like eastern Canada. Kind of far away from any of the real zones that you expect to see a strong tornado that would be causing damage. Let's watch, I guess, a little bit more of this.
Well, Natasha, there's damage in Rigaud along many parts of this area. There's down lines, down trees. Hydro-Quebec is here. They were working on some of the power lines because a lot of people are still without power. Firefighters are here talking to residents, but I want to show you what some of the damage looks like. Right beside me over here, down trees on a power line, and I talked to the homeowners and they say they don't think they're going to have power for days because of the extent of this damage. When we move over and we look at that roof that you mentioned off the top that is all gone, this is the roof of that house that is gone, and the owners told me that when you're upstairs you can see the outside from the upstairs of this building. Luckily the main level is intact. And
yeah, it is lucky. Wasn't The Tick also a comic character? I know there was a TV show called The Tick. I don't know if it was actually based on a comic. I wouldn't be shocked to hear that. It had a very comic book vibe. Let's just look at this next one, which shows more damage from this tornado.
Residents in Rigaud are counting their blessings after a tornado touched down late Monday afternoon, causing damage to several homes. Our Braden Jagger-Haynes joins us from Rigaud. So, Braden, give us a sense of the damage left behind by this twister yesterday afternoon.
Laura, speaking to residents here, they say it lasted about 30 seconds. I'm in an area just southwest of Rigaud, about a hamlet just about 8 kilometers southwest of Rigaud. Take a look at what is one of the houses that was damaged. There's about 5 to 4 houses hit by the path of this tornado that touched down yesterday afternoon around 5:30, according to Environment Canada. The roof completely removed from this home here. Trees with branches in diameter about 60 centimeters wide, completely snapped down the middle. One of the residents I spoke to in this area says that when they saw the storm clouds coming, they ended up seeing what was the funnel cloud starting to...
There's an astute observation. Okay. Let's move on here. Let's quickly discuss this. This is from 19 hours ago. And we talked about this for... I think it was part of the weekend, at least we talked about this. Maybe it might have been yesterday. Either way, it has now been confirmed that at least 22 people have died as a result of the storms over the Memorial Day weekend, which hit parts of Texas, Nebraska, Oklahoma, and I think Kentucky as well, I want to say. Damn it, I can't remember all the damn states. The Midwest. That's the best way to say it.
Again, in the fields, this is very much...
Nope, that's the wrong video.
My son-in-law and daughter and granddaughter were in a car on Dorsey Lane when it hit, and trees were going down left and right, and a hot wire came down, got stuck in their wheel well. They made it out, but they had to drive through the grass of a church. They had to dodge a lot of trees, and they couldn't get home.
You know, I don't know this guy personally, but does he not look like old-fashioned Scooby-Doo villain? Am I losing my mind? Like, this guy is definitely, like, he's pretending to be a ghost on a plantation somewhere.
The church. They had to dodge a lot of trees, and they couldn't get home.
We're looking here, just tree after tree of all sizes are down in the road, in the yards here.
Oh god, I'm pretty sure that's Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Alright, that's enough of you, Aunt Lydia. Anyways, it's the headline that I really wanted to look at, because we've already seen much of the damage, I think, on this stream. It's just confirming that the number has, in fact, increased since it was last reported here. Sadly. Alright, let's move on to something else. This is from 9 hours ago, CBC News. Staying on climate, but moving further south, 48 degrees Celsius in Mexico. What happens when extreme heat hits? How hot is that? Jesus Christ. $118 degrees.
Mexico is crazy right now. Crazy hot. At the time I record this, 48 degrees Celsius is the forecast high in Tabasco, Mexico. Insert spicy joke here. But it's not funny because monkeys are literally dying, dropping out of trees.
Oh, yeah, we looked at this too.
Lakes
Monkeys were
and
literally
dams are
dying.
drying up, and somehow
We saw this earlier. It was like, was it like a week ago, where monkeys, it was so hot in Mexico that monkeys were just dropping out of the trees because they had died from heat. It is just so sad.
in Mexico right now, they're getting hail. We'll get to that.
What
But
the fuck
first,
is that?
just how hot it is.
Before we get to how hot it is, can we look at that image again? What the fuck is this? This is Mexico? In the middle of... on May 28th? They had hail that piled up in the streets blocking doors? You're kidding me. How many of these sort of events have we seen? One in Poland, Colorado. All within like a week and a half.
We'll get to that.
It's not
but
snow.
first,
Thank you. Thank you.
just how hot it is.
Yes, it's hail. Appreciate that.
Deadly and destructive severe weather.
Big drought going on, and actually this heat is making it worse.
A brutal heat wave in Mexico is causing monkeys to drop dead.
Mexico right now is in the throes of a third heat wave, of potentially 5 that they're expecting by July. This map shows some of the new temperature records in cities right across the country. Mexico City alone has already broken temperature records 3 times so far this season.
Mexico City is a population of 22 million.
The weather is scaring you? It's not just you, Schmegley. I too have concerns. Thankfully, we all have each other for support in this moment.
So that's a lot of people to take care of when there's an extreme heat emergency. And not only are the daytime temperatures getting very high, the nighttime temperatures are as well, which means that people don't have that chance overnight to cool off.
Take a moment to put yourself in their shoes. Most people...
There was a warning somewhere in the U.S. this past week for DVD styles. That was in Colorado. It wasn't just a warning. There were literally grapefruit-sized hailstones coming down in Colorado. We watched I don't know. I can't remember what day it was now. It might have been last Wednesday. Just what are we living through right now?
In Mexico City are used to more temperate weather. Most don't have air conditioning. Those across the country who do have had to deal with blackouts because of the immense strain on the country's energy grid. There's an important connection between blackouts and lack of rain. Almost the entire country has had below...
Yeah, Mexico City is built on a marsh and is actually sinking. That's a real problem that they're dealing with, among other things. It's just one of the many. I think they're also dealing with a water crisis as well.
Average rainfall this year.
Right now, Mexico City is in the highest level of drought that we have, exceptional drought. On a scale of 1 to 5, they're on a 5.
So that's a hydroelectric power issue in a country where hydro is the second most important source of energy. But it's also a severe health issue. In the last few months, at least 48 people have died from stroke or dehydration, according to Mexico's health ministry. Compare that to 2 or 3 annually, which is what we saw more recently. And in some parts, drought is so endemic, people have become more used to drinking soft drinks, not water.
We found that many babies that are less than 6 months, younger than 6 months of age, are given Coca-Cola in bottles.
That is horrifying. You are not supposed to give babies Coca-Cola. That is not what you do with babies. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. We can't watch this whole thing. I guess we could, but well, we could have if I had been faster today, but I'm moving slow. That's my fault. I blame myself. All right, let's look at the random hailstorm in the middle of Mexico. Totally normal.
What on earth is going on? Because last week in Puebla, it hailed. Imagine t-shirt weather, but you're stuck shoveling thick layers of ice and mud, several feet high in some places.
Several
Flooding
feet
was also a problem. Trees were knocked down.
You're right.
There was
It does
widespread
look like,
damage to
oh my
homes.
god.
Heat is
Oh
energy,
my
and if
God.
you happen to have some moisture in the air,
What the
then you're
fuck?
more likely to get a extreme thunderstorm that's capable of generating strong winds or large hail or large amounts of hail.
Now, it's not unheard of to see hail during summer storms, but the kind of extreme heat and instability needed to create just the right conditions to create hail, Mexico is not used to that. Not the way they're getting it now.
No kidding. My god. Yeah, we need to probably stop using all fossil fuels. Good god. Just fucking wild. Okay, let's go across the pond to Europe, where in Croatia, divers are removing ghost gear, which is trapping fish. I think, wait, is Croatia on the Mediterranean? I can't even remember now. Oh god, do I have to look this up?
Today we have been diving.
It's the Baltic. Thank you. Thank you, Stephen K. Very helpful.
For ghost gear, which means that we were trying to find lost fishing gear that people or lost by accident or forgot it in sea. And this is one of the problems in Adriatic Sea, that there is lack of resources.
Wait, did you just say the Adriatic Sea? Wait, did you lead me astray just now, Stefan? How could you? I trusted you. Oh, God. Just teasing. Just teasing. All right, let's press on. Just figured we'd look at a mildly optimistic story. I mean, it's about something that's bad, but they're doing something good about it. That's what counts as optimistic here. Most days, somebody doing something about something bad. Okay, let's look at this. Talked about this, I think, a couple of days in a row, perhaps, but I just wanted to look at this as this has been a developing situation. Cyclone Ramal touched down in Bangladesh and India, leaving several dead and flooding villages and farms. Let's go to this.
Strong winds and heavy rain pounded the coastal regions of Bangladesh and India as a severe cyclone made landfall. Millions are without power after power poles fell and trees were uprooted by gusty winds. Dozens of Bangladeshi villages were flooded after flood protection embankments either washed away or were damaged by the storm surge. Nearly 800,000 people had been evacuated from vulnerable areas in Bangladesh on Sunday. The India Meteorological Department says the storm is likely to weaken further throughout the day, but warns heavy showers will remain over the next 2 days.
The sides of the river are broken and water entered through the side of the village. Okay, hold on. Let's just move on to this next one, just to keep us moving, as this is the more recent of the two videos. This is drone footage, as you can see here, showing the farms that were flooded. I mean, they are completely submerged. Oh, God. Which is probably going to lead to a food crisis in about, I don't know, 6 months, maybe less. Just watch that in slow motion, I guess. The dam was broken over there and inundated with all of these farms. The water surged over the entire dam and flooded everything. It's immensely damaging for us. What a loss. We don't have any other option but to farm mainly shrimps because of the saline water. We are all dependent on this business. Now it's all gone. It will take time to recover. That's bad. Oh, God. Okay, let's move on. Quickly discuss this. This is also a developing situation further east. This is all the way in Papua New Guinea. If you're not familiar with that, that is just north of Australia. Recently, multiple landslides engulfed what seemed to be nearly an entire village, causing thousands of people to be buried alive, essentially, and has now triggered evacuations from the region entirely, at least from the affected region, whatever you mean. You get what I'm saying.
The government of Papua New Guinea ordered thousands of residents to evacuate on Tuesday over fears of further landslides. Officials say the situation remains unstable following Friday's disaster, with rocks and debris still tumbling down the mountain. They have informed the UN that the landslide in a remote village buried over 2,000 people. Relief teams have been slowly reaching the remote northern Angkor region since Friday, but finding more survivors looks increasingly unlikely. Heavy equipment and aid have been delayed due to the remote location, difficult terrain, and tribal unrest, which has forced the military to escort relief convoys. The Angkor Province Disaster Committee says a state of emergency has been declared in the area, affecting thousands.
It's one thing after the other, I swear. I'm not even really looking that hard for any of this stuff. Much of it is just a result of what I'm subscribed to. I mean, that was just what Reuters. God. Okay, well, yeah, the precipitation is not helping. It is not helping at all. And they're right in the middle of cyclone and typhoon season. It's not helping things. Okay, well, it looks like it's about that time. Oh, you only need one more like to get another emotional support character. Hey, somebody could help the entire chat right now with a quick boop. If you haven't already, do hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Hope everybody has been enjoying the show. We are just going to take a quick galactic intermission, so grab yourself a snack, and I will be right back. By the way, if you want to help me out even further in the things I do here at the Galactic News Network, well, you can do that while also gaining access to space benefits unseen by the rest of the galaxy by clicking that link that's in chat.
Break now.
Do you know what we're here for?
This is Jules T's birthday. Wait, no. Bad Ash's birthday. It's Bad Ash's birthday? I'm confused. Oh, Jules is leaving and it's Bad Ash's birthday. I see what's happening. Okay. Sometimes I don't read chat in its intended order. Throws me off a bit. Two birthdays. It's both of your birthdays? Is that actually true?
Military personnel.
Is that true? Oh boy. Alright. What would you two like? A traditional birthday song or a non-traditional birthday song? It's also Schmegley's birthday. I'm confused. It can't possibly be 3 people's birthday today. That would be insane. Non-traditional birthday? It's not Schmegley's birthday. Okay. Is Jules T also down with a non-traditional birthday? Either way, it's, I guess I could do 2. This is crazy. 2 people? Same day? Same chat? What are the odds? They're small. Alright. So it's definitely Jules T's and Bad Ash. But it's not Schmegley's birthday. Okay, that's clear. Well, here's your non-traditional birthday song. Wait, did that work?
Do you know what we're here for? Oh, what? Don't even play. Oh, girl, baby girl. What now? Right now.
Jesus, I'm excited about it.
The whole strategy got like awkward. I don't want reality.
Okay. There you go. Non-traditional birthday song. Happy birthday, both of you. Okay. Hold on, let me just get myself resituated. We'll get to the news again. Okay. Get my shit together and watch this. Okay. Well, time for us to start talking about global news. But to help transition us, I figured we'd talk about things outside the globe. Being space, specifically. And I figured we'd look at this story from 6 days ago. From PBS. Is a mission to Venus even possible? Let's find out.
Hey there, stargazers. Today we embark on an exciting journey to the second planet from the sun, Venus. Venus has captivated scientists for centuries. It's often referred to as Earth's twin. It's a similar size, technically in the habitable zone of our star, and it does have a rocky surface like we do, but Venus is a hostile world with a thick atmosphere composed mostly of carbon dioxide and extreme surface temperatures that can melt lead. That said, we still want to go there. But it's not like we can travel there with those extreme temperatures. Scientists employ a range of innovative techniques and technologies that allow them to study this planet from a safe distance. The first method is remote sensing. Engineers build spacecraft equipped with instruments to gather data about Venus without physically landing on its surface. These spacecraft use various instruments.
Basically, fancy satellites that you shoot into space.
Cameras, spectrometers, and radar systems to observe Venus.
Whoa, we've got 30 likes. Hold the phone. This is more important than Venus. Another 4? Come on. The what? What is the probability of that? New dice, please. There's a goddamn conspiracy. Okay, Cisco. You won't believe what just happened. You literally won't believe what just happened. I just rolled the dice like literally, I don't know, 4 or 5 times in a row, getting only the numbers we had gotten previously. That was very frustrating. Okay, Cisco in play.
From different angles and peek into the toxic atmosphere. These orbiting spacecraft can then capture detailed images of the planet's surface using radar, providing valuable insights into its geological features. Venus has impact craters and volcanoes and lava flows, and that tells us a lot about how it formed and what's happening on the planet. Scientists also use radar to study Venus's thick atmosphere and its complex cloud formations, just like we do to predict weather on our own planet. Another way scientists explore Venus is through atmospheric probes, which penetrate the clouds and are designed to withstand the extreme conditions of the planet. As the probes descend, they can measure the temperature and pressure and chemical composition of the atmosphere. This data helps scientists understand the atmospheric conditions on Venus and how they contribute to its intense greenhouse effect.
Okay, so unfortunately, well, maybe fortunately, You have to dispel anybody of their disillusionment that we might be going to Venus anytime soon. As humans, not a great plan, not gonna be happening. Won't be terraforming Venus in the next, I don't know, 500 years. So let's focus on not ruining this planet. And I think I'm being very generous by saying 500. The likelihood of us ever doing that in the history of humankind, I feel like is actually pretty fucking small. Almost infinitesimally so. Okay, moving along to actual global news. Okay, chat, let's do that. You weren't dumb enough to think that we could go to Venus? Well, thank God. Yeah, we need to stay focused terrestrially and fixing our best shot at survival. You know, our planet. Praise Gary. That's right. Okay. How did we start a cult around an emote? Okay, it's not a cult, but it's something. Basically, I mean, what is the at this point? I'm considering writing the book of Gary, and by writing I mean having a vision in which Gary speaks to me, and you know. Okay, I'm done. We're moving on. Real things. Very serious news, and to show you just how serious it is. This is Guardian News. Talk about their very serious election, which is currently happening in the UK. They got a Liberal Democrat leader, Ed Davey, doing some very serious things. You got this, buddy. You got this. Yeah. Oh. Yep. Oh. Come on. There you go. No problem. Oh, shit.
I mean, if you wanted to do that on camera, that would be great.
Oh, poor guy. Ed Davey. Wow. But yeah, that was a very serious story from The Guardian about the state of the United Kingdom. It's in the pond. Okay, I'm done making jokes. Let's move on. Let's move on to real things. Alright, this is from 9 hours ago, where according to Reuters, airfares in Europe and Asia have peaked. Go check the Discord. Yeah, somebody put a Discord link in chat. I guess I could do it.
Airfares in Europe and Asia are starting to plateau or fall as a prolonged post-COVID travel boom is waning. It's a setback for airlines struggling with higher
I think everybody here is in the
costs,
Discord.
limited aircraft availability,
or at least that I can see chatting.
a global imbalance between supply of flights and pent-up demand as air travel opened up after the pandemic drove up ticket prices. But industry experts and insiders said the travel at all costs trend is balancing out, with some customers becoming more sensitive to pricing as they grapple with inflation driving up living costs. Fares were flat across the European bloc in the first months of this year compared with 2023, data from travel research group Ford Keys shows.
It's a very fancy engine. So, sounds like people kind of got sick of paying insane prices for airfare. Cut down on flying, and has affected airlines in a very incremental way, causing them to lower prices. Wow. Shocking. People have a limit? Unbelievable. Okay. Now, let's move a little bit east here into the rest of Europe. First, by talking about the formal recognition of Palestine by Ireland, Norway, and Spain, where I believe today they all made legal in terms of like written down in law their recognition or formal. I don't even know if it's law technically, but it's a formal recognition of the state of Palestine. I don't exactly understand the governmental systems and workings of Ireland, Norway, and Spain. I think you get what I'm saying. Let's talk about this.
There is new pro-Palestinian support in Europe today as 3 countries formally recognize a Palestinian state. Ireland, Spain, and Norway made the decision to do so last week, and today that recognition becomes official. The Palestinian flag is now flying in front of the Irish Parliament, along the flags of Ukraine and the European Union. CBC's Anna Cunningham joins us now live from London with more on this. So Anna, we heard about the decision last week, but remind us, why are these 3 countries making it official today?
Well, Natasha, these formalities are now complete. Spain, Ireland and Norway all recognizing a Palestinian state today. It was a coordinated move that is, I have to say, largely being viewed as symbolic. We heard earlier from the Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez. He gave a televised address. He said that the recognition of a Palestinian state included the Gaza Strip and the West Bank, and he said unified under the Palestinian National Authority with East Jerusalem as its capital. Now, he later said that Spain was doing this for peace, for justice, and for coherence. You saw those images, Natasha, outside Ireland's Parliament, Leinster House in Dublin, the Palestinian flag being flown next to the EU and Ukrainian flags. And Ireland's Foreign Minister, Micheál Martin, he was the one who formally presented the plan to Cabinet this morning. The same has happened in Norway, which is not an EU member country, but it has described this as a special day. Take a listen to the reaction from the Palestinian ambassador to Norway, Marie-Antoinette Sedin.
It gives us a new hope. It's a step forward to end the war, to stop the war, to end the occupation, and to give the Palestinian people the right to exist in their own independent state.
Now, Natasha, this move by those 3 European nations has certainly angered the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. We've already seen the Irish, the Norwegian and the Spanish flags being flown in Ramallah. Netanyahu has previously said that...
Okay, cool. It's just another good development, but seemingly still not enough to stop Benjamin Netanyahu from his mission of eliminating Palestinians from just seemingly anywhere in Palestine. I think NASA's focusing on a mission to Europa. That could be possible. I think that's true. Or actually, I feel like I heard about something about that getting scrapped. I could be wrong. That might still be going on. You're probably right. Hard to keep up with all the space happenings these days. Alright, let's look at this from 8 hours ago. In French Parliament, where a MP waved a Palestinian flag in the middle of proceedings, causing them to suspend. Let's look at this real quick.
Monsieur Delogu, vous avez un rappel à l'ordre avec inscription au procès verbal.
We have a call to order, as recorded in the official minutes until official referral. This is unacceptable. Other lawmakers clapped and cheered on Sébastien Delogu, a deputy of the hard left La France Insoumise Party. The session was interrupted while a minister was